Alright everybody, hello and welcome. I am Shaun and this is the Reserve Team. Welcome to the Weekend Recap, a weekly show where we bring you all the highlights throughout the A-League from a previous weekend. During the season, we'll bring you A-League results, W-League results, any other big fixtures that happen to be happening throughout the course of that week. During the off-season, we're going to try and bring you some of the big key headlines for all that's happened in all things Australian and New Zealand football. You're going to have to get used to me saying this pretty much all week, but this is history being made, the first video up on the channel. It is also the launch day for our website, a little bit further on that as we get through our main headlines, of which there are three. The first is silence from Macarthur, despite hitting a key milestone. Now, if you're unaware of Macarthur, they are one of the A-League's expansion sides joining the competition this year, the 12th team in the A-League. We've been dying for expansion for so long, and we're finally getting a team joining us. But they're not really making the most of the momentum of the hype train leaving the station in terms of the build-up to their first game, which is really only 7.5 weeks away. They did also play over this past weekend their first friendly fixture against Camden Tigers down in Campbelltown. Not that you'd be able to tell if you were monitoring their social media activity. If we have a look just at their Twitter page, which we've got open right here, they are the new kids on the block in the A-League. They are pushing to try and get inaugural season memberships. If you are from the Campbelltown area and looking for a team to join, go and check them out. But over the weekend, they've had their first ever game, their first lineup, their first run out in the kit, all that sort of exciting stuff. And the only thing that they've posted about it so far is thanks to Camden Tigers for hosting their first ever match, and a couple of different photos that you can see here. You can see Adam Federici has returned from a long career over in Europe in goal for them. Ivan Franich has joined. He's won the A-League itself. He's a premiership player. He's a championship player. Exciting young talents like Moody Najjar on loan from Melbourne City. There's a variety of stuff going on, but they didn't live tweet the game. They didn't really mention anything about it on their social media channels yesterday at all, October 25th being the main date. All you can find in terms of coverage from the club themselves about this fixture is this couple of 4 photos that they've highlighted on there. You would think, history being made, their first ever competitive fixture, albeit in a friendly match, they'd be making a bigger deal about it across social media. You might also think maybe the A-League is trying to trumpet it up a little bit louder. Maybe they're posting quite regularly about Macarthur and their journey as a new club. But no, if you go to their tweets from yesterday, they highlighted players here from Brisbane Raw. They spoke about 5 tracks that could be on repeat in Gosford for your Spotify sounds of the A-League. They spoke about Bruno Fornaroli, his previous history at Melbourne City and at Perth Glory. And no real mention this morning either of the Macarthur game at all. They're highlighting here a 2-minute brace from Emil Heskey in 2012. Emil Heskey only scored, I think, 5 goals in the A-League. This is 2 of them. So there aren't that many more highlights that they could be talking about. Why aren't they talking about something more exciting? A new team joining the competition, a new team hitting a key milestone in getting their first competitive performance out there. It's not like they played poorly. They won 6-0 against what is a side coming through their season. A side that would be in good condition, a side that has been playing regular football and would provide a decent test, and they absolutely walloped them. So things are going well for Ante Militic's side, but I'd want to see more from the A-League. I'd want to see more from Macarthur themselves. Hopefully their social media and their communication to what is potentially a very large fan base in that region will improve over the next couple of weeks, so we can learn a bit more about the team, learn a bit more about the club, see who their stars are going to be before round 1 actually arrives. Moving from some disappointing social media output over the weekend to some very, very smart social media output from the kings of memes themselves, A-League memes. They don't do memes, in case you were wondering. But over the weekend, they did create a fake account, Newcastle Jet FC. That account has changed. We'll talk about that further a little bit in a moment. That convinced quite a few members of Soccer Twitter that Newcastle Jets had parted ways with both Steven Ugarkovic and Bernie Ibini, mutually terminating both their contracts so they could explore other opportunities in the league. Obviously for Newcastle, it's been a very tough time in the competition, losing their coach over the last few weeks. They've got reported financial issues. The license itself is apparently up for sale. And some of their key players like Ugarkovic, like Bernie Ibini, reportedly, and I can only say reportedly, looking for other opportunities, not wanting to be part of a rebuild with the club in a season where they may potentially struggle. If you were one of the people that saw this tweet yesterday and tricked into thinking that it was the actual Newcastle Jets account, if you followed the link through to the article itself, it took you to the old Rickroll itself. Rick Astley's never going to give you up over on YouTube. It's been a while since anybody's been Rickrolled on Soccer Twitter, and I'm proud to admit that I can't be gotten, and I didn't click on it myself. They have since this morning gone back to the well, changing this into a Western United Twitter account, reporting that midfielder Max Burgess has departed the club to explore another opportunity. Again, if you click on this link, the likelihood is that you will see Rick Astley, but I'm definitely not going to fall for it twice, and I'm definitely not going to admit to it. But as always, shout out to the A-League Memes boys for doing what they can to get people talking about the league and its upcoming season, even in difficult periods, even in unprecedented off seasons like the one that we're experiencing in 2020. Moving forward to our main story, of course, the biggest news coming out of football in and around Australia and New Zealand over this weekend is the launch of the ReserveTeam.com.au. Shout out to our leader, Overlord Valente, for all the work that she's put in over the past weekend to get the website up and running and to take everyone's submissions, everyone's articles, and get them ready to go on the website. There is fantastic content from across different fan groups within both Australian and New Zealand football. There are Matilda's recaps, A-League recaps, W-League information. A whole bunch of the stuff that's happening in and around football during this off-season is brought to you via this website. No matter what it is that you're into, whatever portions of football you want to hear more frequently about, we have it represented in one way or another across the articles currently on the website. And we're joined now by one of the authors of articles currently live on the website. We cross live now to Bran Gibson. And joining us live now from the field, Bran Gibson, key collaborator with the ReserveTeam.com.au. Now, Bran, you've written a couple of articles throughout the course of this week. Do you want to give us some highlights of what you've written about?
Yeah, definitely. I've got two main articles up on the website at the moment. The first one was talking about the rise and the fall of the Central Coast Mariners, taking a look at how bad they've been over, the past 6 years or so, but also focusing on how good they were back at the start of the league. The first 9 seasons, they were absolutely dominant. And the other article I wrote was just looking at the Matildas and how it's so impressive that every single member of the current Matildas squad is currently playing in Europe.
But thanks so much for joining me, Bran. If anybody wants to check out the links to Bran's content and what he's written for the website, as well as all the other fantastic articles by our other collaborators, you can check out the link to reserveteam.com.au in the description and the comment section below. So the website itself isn't the only place you can get up to date on all the information relating to the A-League and W-League. We are, of course, going to bring you regularly scheduled content here on the YouTube channel and also across on Twitch. You can see just over to this side of me here a varying lineup of shows that we're going to bring you guys over the next couple of weeks, starting this Wednesday with Reserve Rankings, our tier list and review show for a variety of different topics in and around Australian football and the A-League and W-League itself. We do also have on Friday the very first Reserve Team podcast. It is a very rare, you don't see it often, video podcast format. It will also be available on audio-only services, but I would suggest for the first couple, go and check out the video content on YouTube so that you can see the things that we're talking through. You can look at the memes, you can do whatever else. And you can, of course, get involved in the discussion in the comment section below. If you want to help celebrate the launch of the website and the launch of the channel today, you can drop a like on this video. Helps us get higher in YouTube search results when people look for A-League content. You can also subscribe to the channel to be kept up to date on all of our future videos as they continue to release throughout the weeks of the off-season and all the way through the A-League and W-League seasons as well. But more than anything, we just appreciate you guys taking the time to watch it and check it out. That's the part that means the most to us. As always, from me, your host Shaun, and the rest of the collaborators at the Reserve Team, thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again.